Hey guys, it's Dane at Zimm's Guitars, and here's a little vacation stuff that I've got going on. I'm in San Diego, and today I am doing the USS Midway tour. So it's going to be my first time on an aircraft carrier. This is the USS Midway. I'm super excited to get on this thing and just look around. Beautiful day in San Diego, 68 degrees, and it gets me out of the hot Phoenix, Arizona temperature that I'm always in. And my phone might ring a couple of times today and I'll be like, Zimm's Guitars, how can I help you? But yeah, we're gonna go out on this giant aircraft carrier, and I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff on here. So here we go. Hi.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard. We're taking
Thank you.
your photo. Okay. If you can please step to the center. Oh, after that. Okay. Yeah, after you take your souvenir photo, you're going to grab one of those devices for your audio tour.
I don't really want the photo. Like, do you take it?
All right, so this tour started right here on the hangar. And you can see there's a lot of airplanes hanging up here and stuff, but I'm just gonna kind of walk around so we can get a feel for this.
I think I'm ready.
Are you ready?
And let's look at some stuff. Nice little crowd of people, but it's not like packed, which is nice.
Enter room 3 is open, and then you can go right up to the turbines.
Let me look in this little room over here. Look at that. Yeah, so the Midway was in service for 50 years. A lot of cool displays.
Probably haven't been here busy.
Wait, hold on. There's something over here I can show you real quick. The USS Midway Museum Honor Ring. So this is Board of Directors, President's Circle, a lot of names that help out. Some of the donors. So that's cool. Yeah, so back in the day, once in a while these sailors, they would fight with each other. So they actually had a boxing ring down here. And so they would actually get together, and the guys that sort of had a beef with each other, they would literally let them just box it out. So I guess that is a good way to help resolve some problems if you have. And it helps them blow off some steam. And it's better than throwing somebody overboard. Let them fight it out. We're looking at George H.W. Bush up in the cockpit. Okay, we're going up to the flight deck. Of course, they got all kinds of merch. That thing's cool, right? The F9F8P Cougar. Wow. Captain Royce Williams. This is an F9F Panther. Dude's a badass that flies that thing around. Look at that. The FJ3 Fury. That thing's badass. Wow. These are some crazy jet planes on here. They're very impressive. Yeah, this is, it just kind of seems kind of crazy to fly these things. But they were doing it, protecting our country. Oh, I have to get in this thing. This one they're letting people get in it. Wow. Where are the machine guns at? Hand me the phone, Jerry. I gotta get some cockpit footage. All All right, so look at this. I'm in the cockpit. Don't know what this is. This is a horizon thing. Got a bunch of stuff down here. Got a counter. Got volume. Great, this is super cool. Where are the missiles? Where are the machine guns at? Wow. There's a lot to it. You could fly this thing, huh?
I can fly this thing.
Hell yeah.
Don't take a video.
Cool.
Just go and get a picture.
Okay. Okay, this thing is interesting. The SH-3 Sea King anti-submarine helicopter, because I'm seeing these Apollo missions down here on the side. So it looks like they picked up some of these astronauts out in the middle of the ocean somewhere when they landed back on Earth. Super cool. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. There's the shirts that the guys would wear. That's kind of was what job that they had. Okay, so the red shirts were worn from the guys that worked on all the ammunition, the guns, the bombs, the rocket, and all that kind of stuff. The green shirt guys worked on the catapults and performing emergency repairs on the aircraft, handling cargo, launching and landing the helicopter. That was the green shirt guys. Blue shirts, they would move the aircraft around on the deck using tractors and moving all the stuff around. This guy's holding a chain. White shirts, including quality assurance personnel, plane inspectors, landing signal operators, liquid oxygen crews, safety observers, and medical personnel. Brown shirts, squadron personnel who would make sure that the aircraft was ready for flight. They wore brown shirts to assist flight crews in starting the aircraft engines and preparing them for flight. Purple shirts were to operate and maintain the aviation fueling and lubrication systems. They called them grapes because of the color of their shirt. Yeah, the grapes. And the yellow shirts were worn by the officers and enlisted personnel responsible for moving the aircraft around on the flight deck, including the launch and recovery activities. There we go. That is super cool. So all the guys, they'd all have different colored shirts on. Then you kind of knew what job they had. Freaking solid steel. All right. So I think we can go inside right here. Let's take a look inside here. So I think we're going into the officer quarters down here. Wow, low ceilings. Officer quarters. Let's look in here. Some of these guys could chill out in here and watch TV and stuff. These guys could have meetings and stuff. This guy's busy at work in here.
The Admiral's age was the only junior officer to have his own building. That was the next step we went through.
I saw one down below too that had a green line for passageways, like upper and lower ladders or something.
Wait, the guy with the ropes on it? And the two little things hanging down there, we know how many stars the Admiral has and works for.
Yeah, so every inch of the ceiling that I see is covered with wires. How do we get out of here? Is there an exit?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thought that was a mirror. Isn't that weird? Ouch. Yeah, I'm too tall for this place. Yeah, I just bumped my head on something. I'm 6'2" and I am too tall to walk around in here. The ceilings are really low.
Where do they stay when they're fighting?
There's some of the commanding officers that were on board. Bunch of good old boys.
share of our floating city here.
I have.
You know, we have over 4,500 sailors, chiefs, and officers aboard. It's my job to see that they're trained and ready to meet every mission we're called to do. On the USS Midway, the buck stops right here with me. At the end of the day, I'm responsible to the Admiral and ultimately our Commander-in-Chief for everything that takes place on this ship, under some of the most challenging conditions you can imagine. It's a job that allows precious little sleep. In fact, sometimes I catch a few winks up in the island when we're at sea. But being captain really comes down to motivating each of my sailors to do their jobs to the very best of their abilities. From engineering to communications,
What you cooking up today, bro? Ooh, it's got a microwave in there. Wow. Yeah, it'd be very hard for me to be... I would definitely have to have a helmet on all the time because I've already bumped my head once. Crazy. Okay, back on the flight deck where I can stand up. Yeah, so I see across the distance here, I see an aircraft carrier over there, and then another ship right there, and then I believe to be another aircraft carrier right over there. So this is very serious. I've got my whole team assembled in here today. The Japanese, I hear that they're going to invade any minute now. We have to get aircraft in the air. We have to swab the deck. We have to do all that stuff. Let's get busy, guys. Here we go. Yes. Swab the deck. Captain, yes. The Japanese are invading. Got it. Yeah, let me get 2 orders of teriyaki chicken and some egg rolls. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so I've got Ben down here today.
Yes,
Ben, can I sit right here?
you may.
Okay.
You can sit over there if you like. See, more
Ooh,
comfortable.
that sounds good.
That's a good chair. Yeah, where we're standing, you're in the Admiral's own personal CIC, Combat Information Center. I don't know if you saw the big one down on the up forward on the ship.
No, I
Another
haven't been
room with
down
all
there yet.
consoles like that. Well, this is basically a miniature Combat Information Center, but it's only for the Admiral.
Okay.
It's the Admiral's Combat Information Center.
Okay.
And what you've got here is these 2 consoles over here. They're part of the Naval Tactical Data System, which is an early version, Navy's version, about 1980s, of the cloud. And what ships do with this system, there's, let's say, maybe 60 ships, 40 ships in the Gulf with this system. They all had a number, an individual number in this computer system, and they'd log in, and what they get, they're part of a net now, call it a net. And that net is full, those ships broadcast their radar or their electronic signals, intercept stuff up in the air. It's information on everything, every radar contact, surface contact, air contact, everything we know about everything we can see with our sensors. That goes into this big cloud, and it's all mixed, it's all compiled together, and all these different pictures are brought together into one picture. And then they rebroadcast that out about every 10 or 12 seconds. they put out a new burst, and bingo, all these ships appear on everybody's radar, whether their radar could see the target or not. They've got their picture on it on their radar. And that's what these two screens are showing here. And this one over here is showing pretty much the same thing. This represents the night of 17 December 1991. We made the first strikes on Baghdad and Kuwait.
Yeah, with the...
And that's CNN.
And the Midway was deployed in 91?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Midway had the senior admiral aboard, the senior Navy guy aboard. So we were the de facto senior ship out there, the boss ship. We really took all our orders from Riyadh. The Air Force basically had control of the whole show. But our admiral was out here, was responsible for his ships. And this picture here allows him to see where all the ships are, what they're doing, what's happening, and all the other stuff admirals need to know.
Oh, yeah.
And where we're sitting, there'd be two watch officers, usually an officer and a chief petty officer be sitting here manning these consoles and just keeping track of what's happened in the past few hours. In the old days, before they had these tactical flag command centers, the admiral would have to walk about 300 feet, go up and down a couple of decks to get into CIC to get this information. In the 80s, we started converting aircraft carriers so the admiral could have his own personal feed from CIC. This comes up here via closed circuits. It's really just relayed from CIC, but now the admiral knows everything he needs to know. And with each of these consoles, you can select whatever information you want.
That's pretty impressive. What ocean was the Midway? Where was this actually at in
Persian
91?
Gulf.
Persian Gulf.
Persian Gulf,
It was in the
yes.
Persian Gulf. Very interesting. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Enjoy.
Okay, so this room is the fighter preparedness room where the pilots would get ready, right? So let's take a look in here. This is where all the pilots would hang out and just wait until it's time to go out on a mission or to go fly around or whatever they were doing. Okay, so there was a scene in Top Gun in a room like this. Okay. Okay, got it. I'm prepared for this mission. We're going to fly to the Rainbow Room.
And to provide this support in any
So it looks like I got myself a couple of little friends out here. So you guys live out here on this aircraft carrier, huh? Has it been good to you? You guys okay? Huh? Charmed life kind of thing? That's good. Charmed life kind of thing, huh? Yeah. Okay. You guys be cool. All right, guys, so I just finished up my tour of the USS Midway aircraft carrier, and it was a lot of fun. It was very eye-opening. The amount of time and effort and just everybody in the military thank you so much for your service. It really means a lot to the average American like myself that you guys work so hard keeping this country safe. And thank you guys very much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys. Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, buddy. Are you getting good food today? Are you just checking stuff out? How's it going? Are you like an attack bird? Do you attack people kind of thing? Are you looking for chicken wings and stuff? Everything good?
Bye.